Roll call.
Yes, sir, Judge. Mr. Elder.
Here.
Mr. Kirkland.
Here.
Mr. Bishop.
Here.
Mr. Fogel.
Here.
Mr. Quayle.
Here.
All present, Judge.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. The first item on the agenda is consider approval of minutes from previous meeting held Thursday, January the 3rd, 2019.
Motion.
Quayle. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Fogel.
Yes.
Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland.
Yes.
Unanimous.
The second item, we have Mr. Paul Turrell with Calvary, school principal of Calvary Elementary, to request funding for the DARE program. That's something we've done in the past. I think last year we done $1,720. I don't know exactly how many students we took care of last year doing that, but
It's a little smaller group. We had about 35 kids in last year. We're pushing a little right forward, so we'll be a little smaller group this year. Just something we say we'll do every year with our fifth grade boys and girls, getting ready, transition growing up and some of the things they experience and try to get on the right path.
What is do you know the cost per child?
I don't top head start, no, I'm sorry, we don't. In previous years, we had a new state trooper doing it this year, so previously he would be the gentleman that would come in and take care of doing this. But off the top of my head, I don't know what the kid, and it's something we definitely figure out, but I believe it would be less than
$1,720 last.
Yeah, he said it'd probably be a little less this year. Master Quayle, what would you like to do, sir, seeing how it's your district?
What is the amount, he said less than?
Yeah, he said less, but he doesn't know a figure.
I don't know the exact figure, but like I said, previously it was the state trooper. We come and do this, we just pretty much time on maybe what he comes to support we do and we get kind of what the deal was, or you all would. And then we have a new trooper this year, he's not sure what the start of this is. That's why I'm kind of
Oh, okay.
be proactive.
Okay, I'm just, if that was last year and got fewer kids this year, you don't have,
How many kids did you have last year, do you know?
We had 35 and out, and last year we graduated 40.
Oh, so it's less, but it's close.
yeah.
70.
Oh, do we? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I make a motion to approve the funding for the DARE program at Calvary Elementary School.
Second.
Quayle.
Yes.
Mr. Elder. Yes. Mr. Kirkland.
Yes.
Fogel. Yes. Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Turrell.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Good program.
The next item is Darren Thompson with Lebanon Water Company is here to update us on the radio station road project. I think we've got some maps here that he's provided, if y'all want to take a look at them.
You got us a fire hydrant?
Well, I talked to the water board. They wanted me to, dig in a little deeper and ask a few more questions. So I got with the fire chief and the city ordinance in residential areas inside the city limits is a fire hydrant less than every 1,000 feet. And so we wheeled this actual location off, and from the fire hydrant up next to the O.J. and Linda's building, it's about 1,600 feet. My knowledge, there's no requirement as far as fire hydrant distance out in the county. I guess in talking to the fire chief, we actually went out to the site and looked at it, and I provided you guys an additional map today that zoomed out a little bit. The red line kind of represents the general location of the proposed water line. But I guess one thing to note is that our service area ends at the creek. And there are other residents on the other side of the creek that are serviced by Marion County Water District. And to my knowledge, there's no fire hydrant on the other side of the creek. And so talking to the fire chief, if the fire hydrant was located down by the creek, he feels comfortable pulling hose 1,000 foot in either direction, or up to 1,000 foot in either direction, so that we can service the entire area much better than we currently are today. So his recommendation would be to have the fire hydrant close to the creek. That way he can serve both directions from a fire protection standpoint.
And there's
He feels
one-
like it serves everybody.
There's one up by the old Jane and Linda's building now, correct?
Correct, yeah.
It's around you see it over there, it's all the way around the curve though at the beginning here. So let me ask you this.
242.
I think the world of fire chief, good friend, but I have to disagree with him on this one. But let me ask you a question, Judge. Kevin, don't we have some money in our budget for fire protection per district?
We do, I think.
And 2 a year?
Yeah, that's
Something
usually,
like that.
that's correct. Usually we approve 2 a year per district because there's obviously in the county, it has to be on a minimum 6-inch line, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so obviously that,
Nothing this year. We took it out.
Okay.
There's money transferred.
So what you thinking? Have two?
Well, I'm thinking exactly what Master Kirkland brought up at the last meeting, is that I understand that, yes, that's true. You put one down there, and that'll help you guys as well, because it gives you the ability to, for flow there. But I just think that in looking at that distance, having one in the middle is going to be even better. I mean, that way you do have it. And let me say this, Ricky's not pulling that line, okay? All right, I mean, that's kind of like me telling little John or Joseph, you can do that. I'm not the one doing it, so it makes it nice and easy. Don't put that down.
More is always better. I mean,
Yeah.
from that perspective, it just comes down to cost.
Well, do you think the water board would be willing to, if we go ahead and approve that easement, do you think they'd be willing to split the cost with us on that?
I think we can work that out.
Okay. Motion to approve with the approval of utilizing the county right-of-way for the new proposed line, as well as splitting the cost of an additional hydrant located in the center area of that line on Radio Station Road.
All right, second.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your help on that. Appreciate your patience. Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Is this blue line, is that the existing line now?
Yeah.
So that's the existing line, it'll be abandoned.
Okay.
The line's put in place.
Okay.
And when do you think it'll start?
The contractor is currently in Roland Hills. I anticipate they'll probably be in that subdivision for probably another 4 to 6 weeks. And then we'll move on to radio station.
So probably about March.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Item number 4 is to consider approval to recertify 401.28 acres of Joe Paul Mattingly Farm on Sally Ray Pike as an ag district.
Is it already? Okay. Second.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Webb? Yes. Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Item number 5 is to consider approval of agreement with City of Raywick to remove tree from right-of-way. Lisa has prepared an agreement with the City of Raywick to do such work. Comment on Lisa? Or?
Just that it's typical of some of the ones that we prepare with the city of Loretta and the city of Franklintsville for similar projects.
It's actually interfering with our garbage truck and things as well when we run our route, is why we're looking at doing that. So I'd like to make a motion to allow us to do the work there at Raywick, the city of Raywick.
Second.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Unanimous.
We do have the new mayor of Raywick with us tonight, Ms. Phyllis Troutman. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
The new mayor, congratulations.
Mayor.
Been there, done that?
Not our first time, though.
Yeah, I was going to say. Prayers are with you.
Item number 6, consider approval to purchase 3 handheld radios for the Marion County Coroner's Office using state bid pricing.
Motion to approve the radios. That's for the, we got 1 coroner and 2 assistant deputies that have it?
Mr. Allen Manley called me last Monday, I guess it was, and requested those, so I guess they're wanting to keep up what's going on, so that's a good thing.
Second.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Abstain.
And Mr. Vogel? Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
We're
forward to. Item 7, consider approval of salary for medical staff at the detention center. Barry, you like to talk about this, or?
I mean, it was already put in, just wasn't broken down with it, and that's what we did, is moved everybody from what they currently were over, with the exception of increasing the nurses, to try to make it a little bit more attractive to recruit nurses.
So looking at that, looking at the projections we're looking at for the doctor and so forth, the on-call time, the mandatory time, looking at those projections, I mean, if it works out, it should work great.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I want to thank Dr. Kirk, because I think he's stepped up and helped us out here. So.
He has, and I mean, he did a good contract as far as
Yeah.
the numbers on the price and stuff. But when we get to that, the salaries, we just need, I guess we really need to make it by court. Even though it was already approved by the court, the total amount, we had to break them out for you.
Gotcha.
Is that right? The salary schedule is already approved for the medical.
Motion. Second. Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Are these already, you got people in these positions already? Okay.
Item number 8, consider approval of medical contract with Dr. Kirk. That's
Motion.
again what you were just talking about, so.
Yeah,
Second.
Everything's still the same. There is one thing on the county attorney has reviewed the vote needs, but we do have some language changes we want to adjust on the contract, but the cost factors and all are the same. So we will do some adjustments, but we do need to get that going.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland? Unanimous.
Item 9, consider approval of budget transfer, the amount of $20,000 to the road fund and $30,000 to EMS.
Motion.
Second. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel? Yes. Unanimous.
The next item, number 10, discussion and update of the relocation of the fire tower. Mr. Elder and myself both have had a discussion with Mr., I got his name here.
Bruce Roberts.
Bruce Roberts. After looking at several different things and the cost of moving it to the fairgrounds being as high as it was, and finding out that we're not required to put up the exact same structure that we have, it's kind of got us all looking at something maybe different. I think I've got a picture of a fire tower in Mercer County that somebody sent to me. They used cargo containers in doing this, and it really turned out it's a pretty good looking structure there that I think is more modern. I think the fire department could probably speak about that as well as anybody, but I think that's what most counties are going to now. So we could possibly save a little money by doing that and putting it at a location where the water's only, I think Darren did look at the water on that, and it can be done pretty minimum.
Yes, you're talking about at
Behind-
barn location?
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. At the city barn location in the rear of the property, we have an 8-inch water main in the rear, and it would just be a matter of putting a short section of pipe and a fire hydrant, so it's a very simple effort.
A little different than the fairgrounds, right?
Much different than the fairgrounds.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's out of the way, and I think the city likes the location, and they're okay with it, and the firefighters like it, so.
David, in talking to Mr. Roberts, what I'd like to see is, first question I got is that, have you spoke to industrial board in regards to any type of funding on this?
I have not.
Okay. If you could, I think that'd be great, because again, I think
I understand.
I think that'd be fair from a standpoint of the negotiation of the sale of the property and the contract, seeing how it was part of their negotiated contract.
On the old building, is that, if we go with this new, will it be demolished, or
Yeah, you'll have to,
are they just going to inherit that with their land?
well, no, what we'll do is, that's what I'd like to suggest, is that if this is going to the city, here's the thing, is I don't know anything about fire training tires. I just know what I've heard, what Mr. Roberts up at the commission said. So what I think it would be best for the county, since it's going to the city property anyhow, and like to thank the city for agreeing to put it up there. Councilman Magley, thank you. But anyway, bottom line is that what I'd like to see is, or what I think is that if we just hand this project over, I think the city and the county have agreed, obviously, to work together on it and getting it achieved. But to basically turn this project over to the city and allow, I've spoke to Chief Mattingly, and I know that, and I've spoke to Mr. Skimmerhorn, Frank Skimmerhorn and Trey Abel. They said they'd be willing to work in regards to, and actually I think they're going over next week to look at the Mercer County site. But I think it might be, if you guys agree, it'd be best, since it's going on their property, to let them head it up. We've already agreed to work with them as far as the cost and so forth goes. And then once it's completed, then basically it belongs to the city. Because it's on the city's property, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for the county to own that.
Well, actually, in the last agreement, it said that it was supposed to be city property.
Supposed to have been deeded, and it never got deeded.
It never happened, so there's a couple of things we can clean up doing that, so.
But I mean, and those three have agreed to do it. Mr. Mangley, I know you're a councilman now. If you'd like to help them with it, that'd be great.
If you actually say everybody money with this thing.
Okay.
I don't believe you ever put the old one back up without a great cost going into it.
Yeah.
This way you can, we'll get what we want out of the tower and then scrap it and be done with that.
Well,
Reconstruct this one the way the state says you have to construct it. It's going to save the city and county money.
and I think that Mr. Roberts said that the next commission meeting is February 22nd, okay? Just so you know from a time standpoint. If that committee can get over to Mercer County, if it's something they like, if they can get the drawings from Mercer County, get a projected pricing, provide that to Mr. Roberts, and he said he'd help in any way he could, then they could possibly get that approved on the 22nd of February. The other portion of that is Mr. Mangley said, is the demolition of the existing site. I'm not sure. That might be something that, the key here is that the grant was for $150,000. And what we need to remember is that the state or the commission doesn't look at, it's not a grant, like here you go, there you are, have at it. They look at it as a loan. So in other words, they've loaned us, or loaned the city and county $150,000 to build this fire training tower. So that's why contractually we've got to build one back, or we got to write them a check for $150,000. Okay? So if we can check into construction of the cargo containers, and then if the city and county possibly in cooperation could demo the existing sites ourselves, I believe we could use that and talk to Mr. Rice. We could use that money or projected cost of what that would, if we contract that out, what it would cost.
Why couldn't you let the contract, I think we're supposed to start those in March.
Well,
Get what we want out of it and let them push it over and then get rid of it that way.
we could, and that's a possibility. What I'm looking at, though, is I'm going to the angle that $150,000. Because if this new one only cost $100,000, and I hope the fire commission would absolve us of that $50,000.
Use like-kind labor is what you're saying.
Right, so I want to use in-kind labor, so if the city county work together to do it, if it's projected at a $40,000 project, then we get $40,000 worth of credit, so. But just a thought.
Plan. I'll get with John Thomas and try to get some plans on this and move forward with it.
It looks like it'll work.
On that tower, it's also utilized for ropes and repelling on the current existing one. So if the new one's being set up, I would like to request that also be considered, because we don't have no training for ropes and towers.
This here has a tire on it. This got a propelling
What
tire.
kind of height do you need for that?
What's that top beam meter?
Actually, that top beam up there, I think that's what the.
That's what
Did you
it's
see this
for.
picture?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you look at that, I think that's actually.
I don't want to jump on it. But you. I don't need no.
And Boyle County's doing the same thing. I haven't looked at those yet, but this is Mercer County. Boyle County's got one. I think Boyle might be bigger than this, is my understanding.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it,
Boyle
but I
County
heard.
Boyle County spent $100,000 on theirs. I do know that, so. Yeah,
Looks like we might come out with a nice tire, you know.
yeah. Something useful,
Something
in a good
useful.
location.
Exactly.
Sounds good.
What'd you say?